Hello and welcome. If you're here to learn about spinning singles using a short forward draw, you're in the right place. So let's pull off a strip of this bat and start spinning. Now this bat was created in the last video, which I will link in the description below. We just pulled off a thin little strip, just a couple inches crossed. I'm going to pre-draft it out just a wee bit, just to wake those fibers back up. Ball it up a little bit. So I have this fiber on the end. I'm going to draft a little bit out. I want to get something pretty fine. I'm thinking sock yarn with this, so a fingering weight double ply. So we got that moved out, so it's pretty fine and see-through. See that? Yeah. I've got my Kronsky Symphony set up, small flyer, small bobbin, and I am going to spin it. This is the S direction here. So the wheel is moving towards the right. My watch is on my right hand. So, you know, my watch is mostly on my right hand. Pick up some feet so you can see what I'm doing here. So I got that little bit of fiber through. And I'm not expecting a really smooth yarn with this. It was a meat sheep. So fiber's not the highest quality, but should still spin up into some nice socks. I'm thinking more for like boot socks. So let's see if I can get you tilted a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, okay. So it's going to be a little thick in the front. It's probably just going to be sacrificial. And we'll put some spin into it. And I'm using my right hand to pull. So pull out a little bit. Oh, it's caught on the knot. It should easily take up onto the bobbin, so where it just pulls itself in. And it wasn't doing that because the knot got caught in these little hooks. Yeah, you can see the hooks. Yeah, you probably saw it better than I did. So anyway, holding the fiber supply in the left hand. Fine. Short forward draws. Go forward, smooth up, go forward, smooth up. And you'll get into a rhythm. And for sock yarn, we need to make sure there's enough twist in it. Once you apply it, you don't want it too loose. So you want extra twist in here, so it has some energy to it. So if you see spots that don't have enough twist, just pull them back out and redo them. And this fleece, this is the Ombre Grey that I acquired from shearing school. So literally from it on the sheep all the way through to this process is pretty well shown, even though the shearing itself was only a few still picks. You know, like our forefathers, we can definitely take the wool off of an animal and turn it into something useful. There's an old spinning wheel in my parents' house that was allegedly, family stories, one taken from Norway across on the ship as my forefathers migrated from Norway to America, and that wheel went with them. And they spun up the wool for socks every year, so. And it has the teeniest, tiniest bobbins. I can't see how they did it. The bobbin was less than half the size of this one. And this one only holds a couple ounces. Every once in a while, I back this hand up a little bit if I have too much fiber. But primarily short forward draws with this. And you can see the fibers building on. This first bit's the leader, the second bit's the fiber. And it's this really heathery gray, since this was like an ombre sheep. So the top part, the back of the sheep, was really light colored, and as you moved around to its sides and to its belly, it got darker and darker. And then the occasional black spot. All right. So let's do a ply back test. Stop the wheel, pull back. This is also a way to find out if you put enough twist in it, because if you didn't, it will pop like that. Or if you got a thin spot, it'll pop like that. I just pull it all back through. While we're spinning that spot, and evidently Sapphire needs the help. Do you need the help with that, honey? Yes, you do? Okay. Try not to get kitty hair into my wool though, all right? You said that. Okay. So I am putting some more twist into this. Hi, yes. Hello, Sapphire. So here we got to the part that was broken. And I'm just fluffing it out a little bit. Are you helping? Okay, sweetheart. If you go to your tower, you'll find treats. Well, you better go to your tower then. Yeah, it was pretty thin, so just put this right next to it. And they'll just pretty much ply together. You don't approve? Why don't you approve? Giving it a little bit more spin. A little bit more twist. Ooh, terminology. Trying to make sure we don't have any more thin spots. Ever have to take a break in your spinning with this wheel? It makes it really easy. You just wind it around twice. And then you can just put your fiber back up there and that'll keep. So I'm gonna run and get my gauge so you can see how thick this is. So I have my thread gauge here. It's by Fiber Sprite. It's off of Amazon. I will link it below. And I want to go somewhere between 36 reps per inch and 26 reps, 32 or 26 reps per inch. I'm happy if it lines with either one. And right now, you can almost be a 40, it's a little thin, so I have to beef it up a little bit. I'm trying to go with that 32. Oh, it's a little shiny. If you want to split, you just got to pull it back together and try to take from the center of it so it doesn't sply up hard. So get that back in there. Little bitty draft, little bitty draft. Ooh, let some fiber. Twist in the fiber supply, pull left hand backwards. Smooth out with the right. Twist backwards. Smooth. Twist backwards. Pick out short bits. actually are working a lot better for this. Inner fibers. If I have them worked up in like roving, which is basically you pull the strip off a bat, it's more roving. The long draws work good. This is all bumbly. No, it's a bumbly bit. Like I said in the beginning, I'm expecting some texture. Not a lot. I don't want to put my foot down and go, ow, there's a bump. But some texture is good. Just tells you that it's from a real animal and it was hand prepared. So letting some fat spin up, drafting back. Didn't care whatever this is. Wee bit of fiber here. Back with that same strip of fiber. We worked it out a little bit on this side. Alrighty. And right here, I could see it was pretty thin. So I'm actually going to pull it out. See, it was thin. Show you what I'm going to do with that, because I'm not going to waste it. All right, and I can see that it's pretty good there. Yeah, it's pretty good at 32 there. But spin this a little more twist. Yeah, I can feel it's thinner here, so we're gonna start here. Get those tendrils locked on. See where it wants to just pull out of my hands. Go back. Twist in and pull back a little bit. Then if you get a thick spot, you might have to take both hands and pull those apart or pull them out. So twist go in. Get that backward draw going. I hope you can see I'm just pulling back my left hand. And Sapphire's back to help again. Hi, sweetie. Okay, now I want to utilize this piece in here too. I'm just going to put it with the roving and treat it like it's part of the roving. So back it off till things get fluffy. Put some more twist in here. Coax it a little bit, pull back and let it go. Pull it back. There, see it's going right over that wasted little bit of single. And we want it between 32 and, there you go, and 26. Be happy if it was all 32. When you lay it back on each other, it's a pretty nice fingering weight. You can see that. If not, I'll be doing many more. So each of the bats, a little yellow fiber in there, will be, each bat should fit on a spool. And then we'll apply those two spools together. And I thought this would want to spin a little thicker, so quite happy that it wants to spin pretty fine. Just need to get the thicker bits out of it. coaxing the twist, pulling it back. I get a thick spot, just undoing it just a little bit. Putting the twist back in it. Twist going to the fiber supply. Pull back a little bit. And I'm really just pulling slowly backwards with my left arm. And when I get to thick bits, just pull them out. A little bit at a time. I'm not doing a huge out, counting the trebles, putting it back in. This is a little bit more organic. Partly because this fiber is just a little bit persnickety. Always check your bobbin. You might have to move up a hook. And it really depends on your wheel. This is how this wheel works. And the fire supply, pull it back. And the slower you pull your hand back, the more fiber is generally left for the twist to go into, so therefore a little thicker. And if you pull it back fast, you could break your fiber supply, or it will be thinner. So with this, I'm really trying hard to go slow because we don't want it any thinner. Habit of spinning really thin singles, so I have to remind myself it's okay to have a little extra in them. All right, I'm just putting on the last bit of yarn here, and before I'm just doing a backwards draft. So pulling things backwards with my left hand, letting it spin in my right. And this one is done, even though there's still some fluff in my lap. That's a full bobbin, so we're just gonna break off. And wind it up. And I cross over so I can see the end when I grab it for the next one. Now I'm going to spin the second single pretty much like I did the first. So if you want to re-watch how you start it, start at the beginning of the video, re-watch that part. But keep on watching because I have some different angles for you so you can actually see clearly what I'm doing when it breaks, restarting it on, and just some different angles so you can actually see how my hands are working.